Good evening, everyone. This is Shadow of the Moon 87, and tonight I'm going to be showing you a different deck profile. You guys know, I've said it in another video, that I've been playing this game since 2002, so it's been a very long time, and back then I wasn't really that good of a duelist, I'd say, or playing the card game. I just had a bunch of cards like scrambled and like together, and none of it would just randomly would have a deck made out of it. And I didn't really start learning the game until later. So sadly, there was a lot of stuff that I could have potentially been really collecting, and potentially I could have really gotten a lot better at the game if I would have given myself a chance. But I just wasn't really that good at remembering it. So sadly, I wasn't able to ever make this kind of deck, but as you guys know, I love Winged Beasts, so I guess, based on my YouTube channel, you can really tell that. But anyways, this deck is kind of special to me because this is kind of the deck that I would have built if I, back then, actually knew more about the game and was actually playing more competitively than I did. This is an older deck. This goes all the way back, would be from 2003. So this was up to Pharaonic Guardian, and I think that's when the game really started taking off, because it got really competitive. The tournaments were getting bigger. There was a lot more people playing it, and a lot more serious people playing it, and a lot more good cards were coming out. So I think this would be appropriate to actually show you this kind of deck. So without any further ado, this is going to be my Harpie Lady deck from 2003, so that's going to be the GOAT format. And if you guys don't know what GOAT is, it's a format used for people who like playing the older games, or playing the older cards, from the original TV series. It goes all the way back to 2005. So, I mean, this was around the time that they had the Chaos Sorcerer decks were reigning supreme. Everybody had one, and they had cards like Exile Force, City Warrior Lady, Chaos Sorcerer. So, anyways, without any further ado, I think I've rambled long enough. Time to show you guys the deck profile. And starting off, you're going to see just the one Harpie Lady Sisters. At this time, I'm only going to be running the one because solely, it clogs the hand if you have more than that, and it can only be really searched through Elegant Egotist, but I thought one was always perfect. So, and then we have three Harpie Ladies. Now, this isn't the original Harpie Lady. This is, the other one is a little more revealing. It actually, a little skimpier right here. But I decided I'd go with this one because it was a more child-friendly for, any younger viewers watching the channel. Plus, I actually like the artwork and the fact that it's holographic. This is the staple to the deck. Since it's a Harpie Lady deck, these are mandatory. And eventually, I'd love to get a Cyber Harpie Lady because those were even better. They were more of like a beat stick attacker. Birdface. This is, instead of a Sangan, this basically, when it gets destroyed as a road of battle, you can search for a Harpie Lady and add it to your hand. So it's a good way to search out and get Harpie Lady and add it to your hand if you have Elegant Egotist. And a lot of people would probably use Sangan or Witch of the Black Forest. I like using Birdface because it goes with the theme and it's a winged beast. So, next we have Harpie's Brother. Yes, I know this is not a Harpie card. It says Harpie's Brother. I kind of think that it should be, and, I play by the older rules with the Pharaoh Servant. It was called Harpie's Brother before they changed it to Sky Scout. I think that's a dumb name. I thought Harpie's Brother sounded a lot better. So, this is a good beat stick, 1800. Back then, the only thing you had was 1800 monsters. You had Mechanical Chaser, which was 1850, and then if you were even lucky, you could get cards like Gemini Elf, or you could get Spear Dragon, which is in this deck, which is going to be the next thing I review. So this was a good beat stick. It was a level 4 1800 attack, and with Rising Air Current and Blade Fly, I could keep powering it up. I could power it potentially to a 2800, making it incredible. So next we have 3 Spear Dragons. Now this is a Harpie Wind deck, so this is going to have Spear Dragons in here, and this is an excellent card, especially for this deck, because it has the piercing damage ability or Fairy Meteor Crush back then as we remember it. So when I attack a monster, its defense points come out of their life points depending on my monster's attack points. So if I have a 1900, I attack a 1000 defense. Opponent loses 900 life points, and it goes straight to defense mode as soon as it attacks. And at the beginning of your next step, you can switch it back to attack mode and attack again. So it was really good. It was good for like a one shot. Flying Common Carry number 1. Now these guys are mandatory in this deck, specifically just because this is a good searcher. And I don't know what's wrong with my camera going on right now. Looks like it's taking a while to focus. Come on. This is Flying Common Carry number 1, and he searches a result of battle. When he gets destroyed, I can special summon a 1500 attack or less monster and bring it to the field, meaning I can bring out Harpie Lady and then use an Elegant Egotist to use Harpie Lady Sisters or another Harpie Lady if I want. Come on, what is with this camera fucking focusing tonight? Last time I did this video, it was fine. It did this before, but... Then you have 3 Garuda the Wind Spirits. I don't know if you can see that. This is a special summon when I remove from play a wind monster from my graveyard and I can special summon it. He has 1600 attack, and he has a nice little effect that can also switch your opponent's defense monster, change their battle positions when he gets destroyed, or during my turn. 2 Blade Flies. This is great, mandatory in my opinion, because it's a wind deck. Increase the attack of all wind monsters by 500 points. Enough said, that's all you need. Then you have 2 Luster Dragons. Now, this guy, in my opinion, he's really good because he's a 2400 beat stick, 1 sacrifice monster. And back then, we sacrificed monsters more in this deck especially, so there was no like super special summoning. There wasn't links or synchros or exceed, so this is all you had. Alright, so those are the monsters. Next, I'm going to show you the spells. There we go. I don't know what the hell was wrong with that one. 3 Elegant Egotist. This is the main card in this deck because it special summons Harpie Lady or Harpie Lady Sisters from your deck or hand or graveyard. So, next we have 3 Rising Air Currents, and like I said, field spell powers up all wind type monsters by 500, making it really good. Can potentially make all these monsters in here like bruisers, and can really turn the tide of a duel. Okay, next we got your 2 Terraformings. This is mandatory. Searches for Rising Air Current. Alright, 2 Fissures. This is mandatory in my opinion because it destroys your opponent's monster with the lowest attack on the field. So if they only have 1, you can just destroy the 1. Pot of Greed. Anybody doesn't know what this does? Like I said, some people you draw a card, some people you draw 3 cards. I don't really know how to use it. I'm just going based off the anime here and going based off the card text. It says draw 2 cards from your deck. Now, I mean, you can play that however you want to. You can draw 2 cards from your sideboard. You can draw 2 cards from the graveyard. I mean, I don't know. Pot of Greed, been around. We go what it does by now, right? Noblemen of Crossout, destroy their face-down defense monsters. Monster Reborn, to bring back mine or my opponent's monsters. Giant Trunade, to wipe the board, send everything back to the hand. And Heavy Storm just completely wipes the board. Between this one and Giant Trunade, I love these spell cards because of how good they are. They can completely screw over your opponent, especially if your opponent's running Mirror Force, or if they're running Sekretsu Armor or something, or if they're running Backfield. Okay, 2 Dust Tornadoes. Once again for spell and trap destruction. And possibly one of my favorite, next to Dark Spirit of the Silent, Mirror Force. This can ruin your opponent's day. They attack with a monster. I decrease all their monsters' attack power by half, meaning they can become weenies. And then during my turn, I can choose to pay 2,000 to keep it on the field or just destroy it. But it's good because I can just activate it as a trap on my opponent's turn, lower their attack, and then have their monsters die or whatever, and there you go. Jar of Greed for that trap effect. Draw 1 card from your deck. Dark Spirit of the Silent. This holds a special place in my heart because this is my favorite trap card of all time, and probably one of my favorite cards from the entire series because of the artwork. Look how cool that artwork is. It's an apparition just like ready to ruin somebody's day. It looks really creepy, really cool. And basically can switch the attack of your opponent's monster. So instead of attacking with one, they have to attack with another one. So it was really cool. If you ever watched the anime, Bakura used this in a duel, and this was like, this really screwed over Yugi, and it's so good. A lot of people don't play with it, and they always thought it was, people think it would be dumb, and it's not really worth it. I love this card. It's one of my favorites. Okay, we got a bottomless and a trap hole, just to destroy your opponent's monster, either special or normal summon, and get rid of it. 7 Tools of the Bandit, to pay 1,000 life points and negate a trap card. So if they got a Mirror Force, not today. And then last but not least, we have Torrential Tribute, which we all know what that does. It destroys everything on the field if the opponent normal flipper special summons a monster. Now, I love this deck. I love that I was able to finally work on it. And like I said, it's a goat deck, so it's going to be obviously a little bit slower. So if you are interested in maybe having a duel against it, you either comment in the section below or just, message me, and maybe we can work something out. We can play a game or something. I've always wanted to test this deck out against someone else that plays with a slower deck or plays in the format. And people nowadays, they complain about, dual monsters and the way that the direction it's headed, saying that, oh, Link monsters are ruining it, or it's so fast paced, turns only last with like 2-3 turns, if that, and then they're destroyed. The thing is, you can't always have like the same old strategy and the same old type of play style. Back then, it was as simple as summon a monster, attack, destroy, you lose life points until you get to 0. It's not going to be like that nowadays because the game had to evolve. Every card game or every game and everything in general always has to evolve or change in order to keep up with the times. I mean, I can't really see myself 10 years after that playing this, still playing with the same old moldy cards and never really advancing or having anything new. And people think Link ruined the game. You don't have to play the rules that they give you. There's different rules set for Link monsters. You can play them as like how they are normally be played, as they have to be summoned in the Link zone, and then it corresponds with the arrows, or you can just play with them as a special summon monster, which actually gives you more of an extra deck flavor and lets you add really cool stuff to it. That's what me and my wife play, is those rule set. And you can play however the hell you want. It's a card game. It's meant to be fun and enjoyed. You play it casually. People who go to tournaments, some people take it way too seriously. They think that you have to play like that. There's really no rule saying that you can't. As long as you're following the basic guidelines, you're going to be good. But like I said, play however you want to play. If you enjoy the game like I do, I just play casually and play with my wife and just play in general just to have fun. I'm not playing to win any tournaments, because I've been to tournaments before. I used to go to tournaments when I was younger. It wasn't all that, in my opinion, because a lot of people, were butt heads, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, I'm glad that you enjoyed this deck profile. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.